Hello everybody, today we're playing with Terra Magical Adept. It's a 3 mana 4/2 human wizard warrior with when and it's in 5 colors due to its activate ability. And when Terra enters, mill 5 cards. Put up to 1 enchantment card milled this way into your hand. And for 6 and tap with green and red. Exile Terra, then return to the battlefield, transform under its owner's control, activate only as a sorcery, and becomes Esper Terra. It's a legendary enchantment creature, saga wizard with 6/6 and flying, and has chapters 1 to 3 created token. It's a copy of target non-legendary enchantment you control. It gains haste. If it's a saga, put up to 3 lore counters on it, sacrifice it at the beginning of your next end step. And then add 10 mana, 2 of each color, exile Esperterra, then return to the battlefield. So the ability with Esperterra to become a saga creature is quite powerful and there is a combo for you could just win the game on the spot. One of the main important keywords it gains haste. So if you have a way to target itself, you would have an army of 6/6 flyers and just win the game. So how do you do that? By being in 5 colors, we have access to a white card, which is called Dedicated Dollmaker. It is the cheapest card that can copy Terra. There are other ones, but they cost 4 mana, and especially with our activated ability, it becomes too expensive. But with Dedicated Dollmaker, it's a Dwarf Artificer, and when this creature enters, exile up to one other target non-land, non-token permanent. Its controller creates a token that's a copy of it, except it's not legendary and it's an artifact in addition to its other types. There's an alchemy card, and the nice advantage is we can copy as anything that's not a token, and that copy becomes a token, meaning it doesn't have the legend rule. So we were able to copy Terra's second side of Esper Terra, get it and then limited amount of flyers. No matter how many the blockers the opponent has, we always have more, and they have evasion because they have flying, and we just go for lethal. So it's just a 2-card combo, but a deck like this has quite a bit of challenges. Number 1 is the activated ability is 6 mana. Plus, if you're playing the 2/2, you're speaking with 8 mana, which you ideally want to do in a single turn. Sometimes they'll take you 2 turns, but ideally you want it in one single turn. So how do we solve this issue? Oh, and the second issue is if you tap, your opponent at that point may wait for you to spend all that mana, remove Terra in response, and now not only do you not get to transform, but you lose Terra as well. That's the big challenge with this deck. And to get there, we have 2 alternate game plans. Number 1 is try to have ways to ramp, because we need to pay quite a few mana for Terra. And number 2, we also have ways to discount activate abilities. Enigma Jewel and the Hawker are good examples of cards that lets us pay 2, so now instead of paying for 6, we have to just pay for 4, which is useful because in the turn we want a combo, we just need to pay 6 mana. Next one is the trainer. This is the big one, and really what keeps this deck flowing to that win con is because of this card alone. It's a 1/1 and has exhaust. You conjure training grounds. Exhaust is quite useful because even if the track hand dies in response, you get the training grounds anyway. That's right, quite nice because the opponent may wait for you to activate it and then remove it. So as long as you have 2 blue, you're able to always have training grounds open. And if the card dies, the deck has many ways to bring back small creatures. They're mainly for Terra, but they also work for the trainer to get your second training ground. So you would discount it to 3 because a training grounds limits it cannot cost 0 when you have the training grounds. It can reduce the mana, cost less than 1 mana. We also have the training grounds as well in the deck to have other multiple ways to discount Terra, because sometimes just having to pay the 6 is just too expensive and takes us quite a bit. We have another alternate win con of the Dollmaker. We don't have a way to bring back the Dollmaker and get exiled is Apprentice Folly. It does the same important effect. It's a saga that copies a non-token creature and becomes a token and doesn't have the legend rule. Very important because it's our Terra win con. There is a way to play these two at the same time. Example, if you play Terra and the saga, and the next turn you transform, if you're in full control, you're able to transform and get the folly as well, but you're always vulnerable. The main idea here is to transform, and then next turn you play the Apprentice Folly. Unless you had many ways to discount the active ability, you just need to pay 7. Still, 7 is quite a bit. Because the win con, even though it's a 2-card combo, it's on the very expensive side. We pretty much can't rely solely on it. So the deck has quite a few enchantments. To be precise, it has 24 enchantments in the deck, and a lot of enchantments are on the removal side, or that gives us some sort of ramp. Why? Because when we play Terra, we mill 5 cards and we get an enchantment. We need those to hit as much as possible. There is, of course, if we miss, it'd be unfortunate, but usually we do get to hit, and we can get quite a bit of options. There are many enchantments in this category. For all the removals, we need a lot of removal because that's how we're going to stall. We play pretty much a mid-range package of ramping early, and then we want to use our sagas when we play Terra to destroy our opponent's strongest creatures. We have ways also to reanimate Terra if she gets removed, but there are certain cards that go around hexproof. For example, uncounterable spells, transformation spells, those hit us the hardest because they don't get destroyed. The creature stays in the battlefield. So we have cards like Charge Mage Rescue, which Terra on her own can bring back. And we also have Pact of Negation, Stubborn Denial, Swan Song to pretty much bring our commander to give some sort of counter magic as a 1-mana spell. We try to emphasize not going too heavy on multiple colors at the same time. For example, if mostly one, maximum 2, Gearhulk is going to be one of the few exceptions because he's just that good. Because we're a 5-color deck, we have a little bit of every color, but we're mainly splashed in bands, and we just have a bit of red just for our commander and 2 sagas. And the black, the big one, is Summon Primal Odin. The rest, we don't go anything above the color combination. So in our lands, we mostly go green because we need to hit that early game. Our early game is exclusive on green, and we even have Utopia Sprawl. So let's see how we do with Terra Magical Adept. We have a bit of red, some sort of scaling. We're gonna need to get our triumph. So white is one of the tricky. Well, we don't want too much on blue. We need red as well. I like this one, just in red and white. We do have one blue, so it's not that bad. You can Terra next turn. You think that's more important than the Overlord? Yeah, that's a problem. That's a problem. So we're probably gonna overload next turn in 2 turns. You don't have to. We can earn now if we need that. I believe Terra can get an answer. Okay, we have 2 options. I like the Elspeth, but that means we need a double white. Let's hope this is better. Try to get our white. To the bench. Do with him next turn. You can pack till you have a protection spell. Yeah, the fight spell is fine. I believe this fine. Look over this. 5. You can recap. This rate, what we want is to do with this commander. Take the hit. It's okay. Sign down doesn't help us. We just Elspeth here. I think we're Overlord here. It can scale. We're paying the full price. If we get an untapped land, we make a row. Can we cost 2 more? But we're like the full Overlord here. It's a good block there. We get our land. We can Terra next turn. We have 2 more. We draw land with an arrow. So, +1, +1, +1. Alright, we got there. Elspeth got us our removal spell. He's going to be destroying a creature. We also have Terra next turn at free scale. We don't necessarily need to go for the combo, but we have decent enchantments that help us get there. And why the deck is mostly suited for enchantments. There's some very powerful ones. GG. Against Nicol Bolas. I think we mulligan. We need a green. Wait, Elf doesn't die? I think we're overloading Overlord. We get the scale. They do get a Ragnar Band trigger. It happens. You can also play the Cleric. Fine. They have land. Like a blocker forces something from our opponent. Here we have to think, what is the best card you would like? I like the setting prison. It is removal, we do need it for the monkey. We have the Utopia's Brawl. I think everything else is not really worth. Going for ramp, I think it's risky. Let's go to stop prison. I think it gives us the most options. Going plays creatures, we deal with it. Going remove for the monkey, we just deal with it next turn. Maybe they get the static prison themselves and removals. That could be a problem. Just make him have it. Yeah, play land. Static prison it. Palm wants to counter it, it's fine. Deal with the monkey. And get to Overlord. I think it's the point we need to have a protected Terra. And the Overlord can potentially give us 2 mana. It's gonna be a drawn out game. Still making black. Nice. Oh, yeah, that's first. Terra is fine here, but I do like the scaling. And we get to draw next turn. They don't have double blue, which I don't like. But you... Thanks no risk here. Counterable. Okay, those are, all of those are bad misses, but... I do the boss. Or HP pool high. Although unfortunately Bit unfortunate we missed it. Right. That's why you have our protection spell. Loose. We're gonna lock this up from the game. Now we have the locker. That's it. We don't have much protection, but the fear we do is to deal with uncoverable stuff. Okay, birds belonging training. What are you looking at? Unfortunately, we don't have a forest. That's a very annoying spell. Sounds rough, but first it is. I didn't need a bait for removing that. If we go birds here, I like this one to be gone, but I want to solve all of that. I need that thing removed. If I can get maybe hang this gear out. Right here. That's fine. Land portal, I do need a white. So let's get the white out. Blue is also important. Take blue. Get the ranking. Get the bird out. Bird up. Problem is we're gonna need Terra to protect Terra. Protect here. He wants to overcommit for that bat. It's fine by me. Bye. Pretty good. Something untapped. But veil. I don't think it's we're gonna try to go for it here. Did he have it? I'll do with him now, but I don't really care too much. Oh, we had it. He got scared, but we had the combo there. We're gonna transform next turn. We could also we missed maybe our transformation spell. Because we're gonna transform. Probably gonna be copying spelling things at this point. Fearful. So we can put this down. I do this. The guy this is how hand unfortunately. Just a bit of a can. It's shooter with the dog. Captain he can get the other guy. Gonna deal with the elf here. Can't let them scale that fast. Next time we're playing the lookout. We don't have double blue. We'd like to not miss our land off. I don't really mind. I don't know that way. Here they have mana drain. Got memory left, it's fine. No, I don't get anything out. You place that sandwich and packed it. Oh, we don't have double blue, right? So we cannot even pack it? Oh, I forgot. Probably double blue. I guess pretty bad. I have the Hydra. Not good at all. We definitely need to go soon. Oh, we didn't need to deploy the Hydra. We can maybe Terra. Go for a play here. This is really not good at all. And not only did we miss, but we also milled our creature. That's pretty bad. We needed to hit the land at least. And we can't do that. Yeah, we're running out of time and we missed crucial lands and we're not hitting the colors we needed. That's a difficulty playing a 5-color deck. Okay, we need to pace here. We need to destroy that Hydra or the Hooge. I'm more worried about the Hydra. We can transform here, I believe. Do we take that risk? Are we dead if we don't do it? I'm going for it. I'm transforming. If you get bounced, it happens. We have to be proactive. Let's have a blocker. We're going to be taking quite a bit of damage. Hopefully we're not dead next turn. Problem is, any transformation spell we can't do with this. Because we don't have the mana for fat. We only have one blue. Our hopes here is not just have counterspell, and we can protect it next turn. One can go for a giant Hydra. Just gotta take it as long as we're dead, it's fine. You're gonna be another Terra? Or are you talking right here? Let's get a draw. I 16. Oh boy. His 32 was dead. I mean, those are risks we were taking, right? We could have went for the safe play, but I really wanted to form my commander. Oh, it's drawn definitely the casino now. Well, they had a time limit, to be fair. It was really unfortunate we didn't have our second blow. Yeah, but real thing, cool. This is the tricky part of these 5 color decks is it's very difficult to get every single color you want. We can recover most of the cards, but we needed one more blue. And to pick up to have everything. The combo is we get the dedicated Curl Nature. We put it on Terra and we copy and we get unlimited number of creatures. And if they gain haste, and we just look a loophole. So if I don't either disconnect it or they can throw if they have another land. And I believe that is lethal. I mean, I'll take it. We get to show the combo. So I play the Doll Maker. We put it on the Terra. We get extra copies. We need to at least have 2 Door Cannon. So you're gonna give it 1 because we need it in creature form. And we attack to protect, so that's why tactic lethal. Even though we only have 1 blue card, is the turn we go for the lethal doesn't matter next turn. As long as we defend or play this turn. And ping 0 is worth it. Alright, GG's, you got the combo, we won. Again, Zada. I don't think this hand is gonna give us time. Okay. Any double white, so we're gonna keep the pestilence for later. You gonna play you or you? Like you can get the jewel out. We're probably gonna flip out next time. We can go wide. I like the Gearhawk ceiling. So do we go for you? We get another land, or we set up the most mana inefficient one. Yeah. I like to Gearhawk. Probably gonna get a transformation spell for the Zada and our creature. We have double white, we just need double green. No. Make a shock land. Okay. Maybe green. So do we feed a one? Everything else is paying more. So I want multiple spells here. I'll let you. You're pretty good. The prison is fine. I like enable the string though. So we can deal with Zada. They're not instant, so that is a thing. We do have a blocker, we just need to not be dead. These are all these hits. Your throw hits you losing quite a bit. Let's first try. Sure for sure, that's what we have. Carry out the ley line. Ley line is pretty good. We're gonna need mana for that. No matter what. Don't know these gives me untapped. We have the white here. This gives me an untapped source. So we can ley line. If we get a swamp, it's gonna cost 2. If my math is right. Attacks. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. You just need a swamp. Or in the red source as well. Fine. I'm okay with this. Okay. Okay. I want the red and the blue swords. Black would be very good. Oh, we get full bow now. This final one transform. What else can we do? It just shocks it, it's fine. We'll have to shock it. Okay, then. So we need to hit full. We need to have the white open. We need to have the white open. So we can play you and start scale. I think at this point. I want the mana, but not that badly. I don't know attacks. You need to have the flash spell. Earth does not have good defense to that. Gonna wait for my turn. Okay. Right. And we're gonna start going to the air. In control of it? Okay. Amanda. Some of the blockers. There's one card off, but we've been drawing only lands. Terra come back in normal form. It's fine. We can reach Transformer. We actually wanted the mill. We have first shrink on the. Okay. Yeah, we dropped quite a few lands. We have 1, 2. So we can find those. God, it's taking so long. What are you thinking? Well, just gotta wait. Hmm. I mean, I don't know what he's deciding. He wants to destroy the commanders, fine. I think you really cast them. I have quite a bit of mana. Because at least if I'm just gonna mill, I'm gonna be getting some advantage here. For example, Ultimate Stalkers. That is pretty good here. That's what I'm gonna be doing. Let's see what the boss. And once we transform to Terra, we can start copying. Return the Enchantment. That's about it. If one kills it, yeah. Chapter 3. A little bit angry, but we stabilized, so we've had a very slow win con, which is just transform Terra and destroy their big creatures, constantly hit them. Alright, GG, we got there. For the post-game ramp with Terra Magical Adept, it's a fun deck. I think I've hit a pretty reasonable list that has a bit of protection to the entire field. We have enough removal where I'm comfortable dealing into most matchups. Of course, if we're playing against VB, we have 2 removal and they run a counterspell and a free counterspell at the same time, then it becomes, there's not really many decks that can deal with that as well. But we should be decent into the most opponents. We have a bit of late game with the Terra plant because we're getting lands, we're getting creatures, that has multiple effects. The overlords, for example, can help us quite a bit. Uro gives us that scaling because we're constantly milling, so it has quite good synergy. You can also run Flage if you're comfortable running Boros to get another alternate game plan. So the deck really works well without the combo. The combo is really there as an option if you need to win the game that way, but this deck really works. It's just milling, you get an artifact, an enchantment, ideally an enchantment that has an effect. So when you transform Terra, you're copying that every single turn, and just the opponent cannot keep up. This is a value engine that's quite powerful and has set up a link game plan to win the game on the spot, but it doesn't need to, as with the trainers and some other activate ability discounts, you just get to copy each turn. It's a fun deck. I would say the most difficult thing is to maybe review the mana base if you want to make some modifications. Being on 5 colors is quite tricky because ideally in a 5 color mana base want to go 2 to 3 colors and the other 2 are more if you need to. But I did have trouble is if I go too much in black, then getting red becomes difficult, or double blue is tricky. For example, having pact, you do need to have double blue to pay the pact. This deck can consistently get 1 blue, but the second blue becomes very difficult. So if you want to go heavier into counter spells, you would have to go change the mana base to be heavier in blue. As well, this deck is also pretty heavy in white because that's the color of tutors, and green, so that is the big problem with a deck like this. But otherwise, definitely your mulligans, you want to be hitting your turn 1 elves. We have an alternate game plan of turn 2 ramp for Arcane Signet, for example, or the Sylvan Caryatid works pretty well. If you can play, let's say, a Triumph turn 1 and play these turn 2, that's also an acceptable play, but you always want to do something turn 1 or turn 2. This deck really is an entire 180 if you're able to just ramp turn 1. It is that important in this type of deck. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe. Comment below what are your favorite commanders from the set. Thanks for watching.